Hello, 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 hello. Just wanted to say I'm here. I have arrived. I'm getting my tarot cards together really quick, and then I'll be on the screen. I think we're good. I think we're ready to start. Hold on, Vivian wants to leave. All right. I might make my window a little brighter. I just made it darker, but the sun is playing games with me. Hello. Happy Thursday. I have had a very busy day today. I've been getting ready for my trip tomorrow. And I've been busy, but I'm here ready to do some tarot readings or just hang out, whatever we're feeling. But yeah, welcome in. Happy Thursday. Stream won't be quite as long as yesterday. Sorry to say. Sorry to, in advance, already anticipate not sticking around as long, but I have some things to do. I have some things that I need to complete tonight before I venture off. So I just want to make sure I get all of that done. And yeah, as such, the stream will be a little bit shorter today than it was yesterday. I also really need to burp. I'm not going to do it in front of you. Sorry. Oh, it was one of those ones that like comes out of your nose too. My eyes are watering a little bit. Ouch. If you would have heard that, you would have laughed. And it would have been clipped. Okay, see, the sun's coming back, and now the lighting looks good. So I'm just gonna have to leave it like it is. Yes, it burned. It burned my nose. It did. You guys, something crazy happened to me last night. Something crazy happened in the comment section of my new video. Someone commented and was like, is this not AI? Like, leaning much more towards the possibility that it clearly is versus isn't. And that made me feel really strange. It made me feel slightly complimented because I was like, wow, I must be putting out a really good, clean product if people think it's AI generated. But then I also started to get nervous and scared about the fact that AI has come so far that people are making like imperfect AI models to try and get as realistic as possible. And then I found out that people have been making AI models of me without my permission, and then I was really deeply disturbed when I started venturing onto those sites. So please don't do that. Hi Mike, happy 16 months. I've definitely said this before. I'm just gonna say it one more time. I do not ever, I have never, and I do not ever grant permission for my likeness, my videos, my photos, anything to be used for the purpose of AI generation, AI model making. I'm very strongly against it, and I would really, really, really ask, like, strongly that you respect my wishes personally on this, because it, you know, feels a little bit out of my control sometimes, and that really sucks, because there's a certain aspect of, you know, control of your likeness that you would like to be able to keep. And especially with AI just kind of going in a bunch of different directions. There's like chat bots of me. That's really scary. There's like over 400 people that talk to this chat bot of me. And that's scary. I don't like that. Because I just feel like that feeds into a parasocial aspect of this career, the engagement of it, that it's not helpful for anyone. Not me, but absolutely not the people that are engaging with the chatbot either. So please don't do that, you guys. And if you see people doing that and you have heard me on the stream right now saying don't do that, and they didn't get the memo, please tell them, hey, take this down. She really doesn't want this. Please don't do this anymore. So yeah, just gonna say that publicly at least once in my life. Moving on. Let's take the thumbnail. Also, I'm not sure why. It's almost as if the camera is like slightly angled downward, but I didn't catch it from yesterday. I'm just gonna slightly tilt it just a little bit. I don't know if that actually did me. There. Hi, I'm really close up. Is it too high now? No? Yeah, maybe. I feel like that's exactly what it was like before, but it's whatever. I'm not gonna keep adjusting it. Got the thumbnail. Yeah, okay. Let's see, what can I do? I want to do like something that feels very gentle. The title of the stream today is Spending the Evening with You. What would that look like? In a gesture. Come spend the evening with me. Like, that doesn't feel quite right. But this doesn't feel right either. But something like that feels good. Like, I'm gonna have so many burps. I'm so scared. I better not let one slip. Join me. It's the only way. Sorry, my audio wasn't turned up all the way. I'm also gonna turn down the music. Let's just do like, you said motioning to come sit next to me. It's like, there's not really anywhere for you to sit. Look at the sun coming out. I'll just go like, I think I like the eyes open. Okay. Forgot to do tax at the start. That's okay. You can pay tax whenever you're ready. Thankfully, I'm not like the IRS. There's no deadline. You can just pay tax whenever you have it, you know, whenever you're ready. Wouldn't that be nice? Just like whenever you're feeling so inclined, if you could pay some tax, that would be great. Maybe eventually it gets to a point where they have to like come and ask you about the tax that you plan on paying, but I don't know. I just feel like it would be nice if it was a little bit more relaxed. It could just be a little bit more relaxed of a system with a little bit less, you know, consequences. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Viewers, would you say you're experiencing buffering? 11:09 a.m. Stream status poor. Nice, chatting on my account. You're so funny. I was like, wait, I just chatted. I didn't say that. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna do? I was gonna do something, that's why I went over there. And now I can't remember. Oh yeah. What was I gonna do? Cool. Good. Yeah, I bet it's like a someone asked if this is a locket. It is. There's nothing in it, but it is a locket. I'll open it up. What the? Oh, it's on this side. That's why. Do some locket tapping. Thank you, Slam, for the 100 bits. You're looking for new headphones. These work pretty good. They were like, I forget how much, but not expensive. And they work pretty good. I like them. How are the kitties today? I think they're good. I think they're okay. Have the gold ones been retired? No, they have not. I'm not sure where they are right now. But they're not in here. So that's why we're using these ones, because they're around and available. Slightly more centered. There we go. I was at a convention the other week and saw somebody with nice gold headphones. I asked for the link, but they were wireless, sadly. You should see if those wireless headphones have like any ability to do an aux connection, because that still works, you know? Oh, that's so sad. Maybe yeah, I should just like make the headphones I want to see in the market. I want just like a really cool solid gold, almost looking like a headband, gold trim, and then green or something, white. Oh, those look nice. I had gold highlights in my hair. I know people will use the like tinsel, the little hair tinsel that you can tie on to the pieces. You kind of take a strand that's like so tiny, like literally this big, and then you take the piece of tinsel, and you like make a knot way up here, and then you have like sparkles in your hair. I've definitely thought about doing that. It's really cute. If you guys want to see? Never mind, I actually don't have my phone in here. Do you know what I do have though? I have this. I don't think we're gonna do it today, but I wanted to open it in front of you, because I know it's, in general, unopened. I finally made a stop to my P.O. box. I don't know if you recall, but we had someone in the community who wanted to send me their unopened pack of Pokemon cards, I think is what this is. Because that's the only person I've recently given the P.O. box to. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I can even like get in here without hurting myself. And by myself, I mean my nails, my beautiful, precious nails. I hope it's tarot today. It is. It is. It's more of a when are we gonna start doing it, and not an if we're gonna do it today. We'll probably start momentarily after I open this. Ooh. I don't even like want to open it. I kind of just want to keep it. It looks so cool. Like what? $160? Well, we can do some ASMR with the box. So I guess I'm kind of confused as to like what this is. Can anyone fill me in? Does this have any like additional value? Is it one of those things where you don't know what's in the packs? This is the back. Like it looks like you're guaranteed to get a couple good ones. I don't know how it works. I haven't done Pokemon cards in a long time. It's a bunch of booster packs. Okay. I guess more so what I'm asking is like, is there any surprise in this? If not, then I'll leave it sealed. Random cards, okay. Good chance there are some rare cards in there. That's really cool. This is so cool that somebody sent me this. How many packs? You tell me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Looks like. $15 packs, 1 metal card. Oh, that's cool. Another metal card. A playmat, metal disc coin. Wait, this is so cool. So cool. There might be a serial number on the box. I think you're right. I think there is on the bottom. These are the ones people fist fight over in the stores. I'm not sure. Well, it makes some really good ASMR. I'm gonna put it on display for now, and if I ever open it, I will make sure I do it on either a video or a live stream. I honestly think a video would be fun, but a live stream would be, it would be fun either way. I would definitely make sure that I opened it on camera, that's what I'm saying. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put the tarot on the screen. And we will change the color today. And what would I like to change the color to? Maybe green. Or something that stands out. Maybe like that blue. That like turquoisey blue. It's pretty. Pick a screen color. I'm not sure who's on the list, to be honest, from last time. I could have sworn we got through all the readings last time. Did we not? I don't remember. It's all a haze to me. We have one community reading on the list. That's all. And then one for Sinchobi. You forgot about your reading. Typical, typical, typical. Typical, typical. Typical, typical, typical. Yes, okay. Was that last week that you did that? Check the replay. You're so funny. You're so funny. I believe you. I would never not believe you. You are, in my eyes, very trustworthy with what you said online. Dr. Pepper, so misunderstood. Is it misunderstood? What I was gonna say is, who is misunderstanding? Dr. Pepper. Who is misunderstanding? What is the misunderstanding, moreover? Beautiful. Beautiful. We have a gorgeous girl. Gorgeous. Hi, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Hi. Hello. How are you? What you doing? Did you eat some food? What's going on? I think she's gonna come hang out. She's been enjoying being on the camera lately. She used to hate it. Do you guys want to see a new ring that I got for the website? It's for sale, or it will be. I think it's so pretty. I was tempted to keep it, but it's just not my size. I feel like it would be a perfect, like, I don't know, I feel like for you guys this would be a pinky ring, most of you, but like, that would be a cool pinky ring, don't you think? I like it. I think it's pretty. I think they're emeralds. I gotta look back on the auction that I got it from. I've been slowly collecting things for just like supplementary pieces on top of my own collection. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I keep burping. I'm trying to keep it so quiet. So quiet. I've got to say something before we get started with the readings. I just want to give like a little precursor plan update for the forthcoming days, the weekend, not forthcoming, forthcoming days. Today's Thursday. We're going to be doing this live stream. I'm planning, hoping to record a long form video tonight. I did not end up recording A to Z words yesterday because I got off the stream, I ate, and then I decided I was too tired to do another 2 hours of filming. But that's okay. I've already planned in my head when it's gonna happen. So tonight I'm gonna record a video that I'm hoping to edit either tonight before I leave tomorrow in the morning, or sometime tomorrow evening after I have just like some downtime to myself. Get it up at the latest on Saturday, sometime on Saturday. So a new video will be coming on Saturday at the latest, if not tomorrow. And in terms of another live stream this week, I wasn't sure what I was thinking with that. I'm still not sure what I'm thinking with that. But I do think it could be fun to do a live stream with Cherie. So we'll see if we do a live stream, another one at all this weekend. It will probably be one of those, like a collective stream. I don't know if I'm gonna take the time to pull away to do a completely separate solo live stream, but we'll see. We'll just have to see what the vibe is like, what the atmosphere is like at the place we're staying. It's like a house with a pretty view, and I'm already planning to film a roleplay, a very special roleplay. I do want to see the gimbal for sure, yes. So I already have a plan for content to be made separately from live streams. But like I said, if we can sneak one in, I would like to do that. So I'm hoping for at least maybe one more live stream by the end of this week. And then next week, if I don't stream Tuesday, for sure Wednesday and Thursday. However, Friday, probably not. So I'm gonna do my best to get Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all 3 days next week. But if not Tuesday, then for sure Wednesday, Thursday. Those have been working really, really well for me lately. I'm sorry to my European friends for doing a little bit later of a time slot, but it's just been something that's worked with my schedule recently as I've been running around and doing a bunch of stuff and planning things. So yes, that's the plan for the foreseeable future. Thursday tarot next week, Thursday tarot today. If there is another live stream, it will just be for fun. I don't know if it will be ASMR, probably not, but we'll see. And then a new video this weekend. If you have any suggestions as to what kind of video you would like to see, let me know. At the moment, I was just planning on doing the singing video that we kind of talked about last week on the live stream, right? Wasn't that last week? I'm trying to remember when that was, but we talked about it. I was singing, it was great, and I said, would you like a video? And you said, heck yeah. So we'll see. I thought about doing that, and if I don't do that, I'll do something else. So if you have any ideas, feel free to put them in the chat, or you can always put them in the Discord as well. Okay, let's see our list for today. The first one is Red Boy, and then we have Shelby, and then we have a Slam, and that's our queue right now. It's looking up pretty good, pretty manageable. I'm gonna make it a little smaller for myself. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Don't know how that happened. Put that over there, put that up. Do. Okay, I'm gonna put it here so I don't have to crane up my neck as much. So, we have a public question from a deck of choice, and we'll see which deck I choose depending on what I'm feeling from the question. Again, this is from, I should say, Obscure Novice, thank you Mario, to Red Boy from Nui, and it reads, Nui's question. Right now, life feels hectic. I'm part of a wonderful community. I'm excited for my solo trip to Europe, where I'll visit some of my favorite places like Liverpool, Edinburgh, and Munich, visiting Amsterdam for the first time, and watching my favorite team play their rivals. But looking further ahead, the future feels daunting and scary, which has been making me feel sad, depressed, and anxious lately. Things like getting my own house, a new car, getting my dream job, travel, and managing anxiety. Okay. Well, there wasn't a single question mark in there, but let me try and deduce what I think the question here is. I feel like it's maybe like, where do you go after your immediate plans expire? Or if it's not a direct, what are the outcomes? Where do I go? Maybe it's something like, how can you feel less worried about the future and more secure in your ability to make it whatever you want it to be, regardless of what it is right now? What do you guys think? How would you summarize that in a question that kind of cuts through to the heart of the answer? What would you say? Life feels hectic, part of a wonderful community, excited to travel, going to a bunch of favorite places, seeing a favorite team. But looking further ahead, things feel daunting, scary, causing depression and anxiety. How would you ask to get to the heart? Again, I feel like I would, if it were me, personally say something like, what actions can I take to best secure my most desirable future as soon as possible? More or so embracing these future changes and opportunities. So how can you make the most of everything that you're about to go through? Is that how you feel? How can you maximize the opportunities? How can you best adapt to everything that's happening? Great question. Let's see. I am gonna pull one from here, and I'm also going to pull a work your light card for you. And I'm gonna cut this one too, white sage. So I'm gonna pull a couple from these. And if I really need additional confirmation, we'll go to the karma cards. Perfect for a question like this. For now, we're going to shuffle these variants. I finally feel like these cards are getting a little bit more broken in. I like those question formats, Mario. Those are really good. And also, I feel like I got pretty spot on with the color. From just the tiny... How did that happen? What the heck? I use like the tiny little blue from way back there to color match. Looks pretty good. Alright, shuffle these really quickly. Hopefully, you're patient enough to wait. Hopefully. I love this color palette of like the really pastel pink and the sky blue. There's something that's just so soothing about that to me. I've been wanting to do my Animal Crossing island kind of in this atmosphere, whatever you would call that. It just is so pretty and magical and whimsical to me. Wicked Ton. Oh my goodness, I feel like that is an ancient username. We haven't seen that one in a long time. Welcome back. It's certainly been a while, but I'm glad you're here again. What brings you in tonight? And how have you been? Okay, we've got those shuffled. I will wait to do the white sage. If you give me permission, I'm going to go ahead and pull these cards for you. But I will also let you pick them if that's what you would prefer. Downside of being a dock worker. Hey, that happens. I can pick them. Okay. I am going to give you a section to work with. Okay. Go ahead and pick from these cards out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The color on these are so beautiful on the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 cards here for you. Go ahead and pick one. The Way, thank you so much for the super chat. 7 and 12. We can do both. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Interesting. Before I put these away, I just wanted to show you guys how pretty the colors. So beautiful these cards are. I love this pink one. That's so like striking. And the blue. I love the side of the cards, the different color palettes of the ribbons. Aren't these so beautiful? Oh, I want to be wearing all of those colors right now. They're just gorgeous. Okay. Sweet. I'm gonna have you pick. I was gonna say one, but it doesn't feel right. So I'm gonna pick this top one out. I also definitely picked a card out for you, and then I put it back in the pile, so I guess it doesn't matter. go ahead and have you pick from here, the very top. That's what I'm feeling called to. And honestly, split these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards to choose from. You can pick as many as you feel called to. 7 cards to choose from. Two and 5. 2, 4, 5. Interesting. All right. We are going to read these just as their own standalone messages, and you can apply them to the question that you ask however you feel inclined to. But I feel like I'm getting a really clear picture here of just like what the universe is asking of you. So the fairy cards, were flow and divine feminine, which I feel like are pretty related. Divine feminine and flow. There's clearly something to be said here in feeling, in energy, that's like very clearly opposing to the rigid, harsh masculine that we typically associate with, that yang. Is this technically yin and that's yang? The yang energy, it's a lot more rigid, structured, less flowing, like the feminine. So these are very corresponding in feeling towards each other, in my humble opinion. The other deck, we have your inner temple, devotion, tune in to the portal of your heart, birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being, and soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So again, there's this feeling of kind of like going with the flow, I feel like, not forcing things, tapping into maybe more of your feminine energy centers instead of the typical masculine ones that you would go for. Aurelians, hello, we'll get you on the list. Feel free to put your question in the chat. Thank you so much. I'm excited to give you a reading. Here is flow. We're going to start with flow. I will let you take a little read while I read it out loud. Welsh folklore. Excuse me. I don't even know how to say that. These guys are fairies of Welsh folklore who live beneath lakes. Often called lake fairies or lake maidens, their home beneath water exists as an other world, concealed by magic from humans. If you ever walked by a lake, fairies were likely there. You just couldn't see them. A fun fact about them, they have been known to take human men for lovers. When this card is drawn, lean in to all things water, both literally and spiritually. Take a walk by the creek or steep yourself in a luxurious bath. Channel qualities that are associated with the element of water, like fluidity, openness to change, or going with the flow. Openness to change is going to be helpful as you start birthing a new age. You're going to need to be adaptable to do that. And then we're going to tie that into the divine feminine. Page 39. The satyrs Satyrs of Greek mythology are described as part man and part goat, similar to the faun. The satyr's defining characteristic. Oh, I'm sure you saw that when I showed it to you on the screen, so you can just rewind and read it to yourself. When this card is drawn, you need to get in touch with your feminine side or seek it out in others. Regardless of gender, the divine feminine is something that everyone has access to. Give in to being soft. Your compassion, kindness, and ability to forgive are your strengths. So again, adaptability, softness, going with the flow, being able to change, all very important. We're going to go ahead and pull these up now. We have first and foremost '92, birthing a new age. Often, our path is exactly the one that we don't feel prepared to walk. Walk it anyway. Often, what is rising feels far bigger than we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyway. Often our creations seem to have a wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their own. Birth them anyway. Often what is ours to do is the very thing that most intimidates us. Be courageous and do it anyway. We are birthing a new age. Right now, and this could be for you specifically, right now we are in a transition period between ages. You're in a transition period between versions of yourself. In the process of allowing the old cycle to fall away and the new to rise. Like driving in the fog and trusting the road will appear after. We need to release old identities and ways that no longer serve us, using our intuition as a compass. You are part of a group of people who have been incarnating at very specific periods of history, preparing for this exact moment, dreaming a new world into being. Magdalene sisters, daughters of Isis, Essenes, priestesses, witches, mystics, healers, seers, artists, midwives, visionaries, guardians of the earth, and storytellers from the past. It is time to give permission and space for what is beckoning within to be born. We are dreaming a new world into being. So part of what this card is trying to say is that sometimes the path that you might be called to walk is the scariest one yet, and you have to do it anyways, because part of your mission, part of your reason for being here right now is to be walking those new paths that no one else has ever thought to walk, and if they did, they were way too intimidated and scared to actually follow through and do it. And you could be that way, but you're not going to choose to be. And that is the difference. A difference that has yet to be made before you came along. Oh man. Part of getting into the flow, part of following the path wherever it takes you is obviously accepting parts of the journey that seem next to impossible, still being, worth exploring, even if it feels like it's gonna end at a dead end. We're gonna go to, I want to go to Inner Temple. That's on page 70. Inner Temple says, you are being called to be a devoted student and tune in to your heart, to incorporate true devotion into your life. You could be being called to develop a regular meditation, journaling, or some sort of chanting or singing practice, or to show up with your soul, or to show up to your soul with rhythm. To develop a daily practice where you fill up your well and spend time with your soul. When they say fill up your well, they mean something along the lines of fill up your cup, fill up the space within you. All of the answers and all of the questions that you seek are waiting for you in the portal of your heart. But you cannot hear them unless you carve out time each day to listen. Your soul is yearning for a deeper relationship with you. And so, the more time that you spend with it and show up to it, the more clearly it will guide you. We are here to grow as souls. Earth is one big playground for the soul to learn. And you are being called to go deeper into your soul growth, or to increase your devotion of being a student of a lineage or a spiritual teacher. A student of a lineage. What an interesting way to word that. I'm going to summarize that as you're just being called to go deeper within your soul. In general. If you have already been a committed student, then you are being commended for your devotion, and your guides want you to know how proud of you they are, and that the time you have spent on this is priceless. If you're questioning your career or your life path forward, your guides want you to focus your direction towards devotion and this prayer. Please use me in a way that delights my mind, body, and soul. May my life be big. Excuse me. May my life be one big moving prayer. Work your light action, commit to a daily devotional practice. So, a very practical answer. Moving forward, you can do something every day to kind of ground into this place of inner silence that creates enough of a space for your, what did it call it? Your rhythm of the soul to speak loudly to you. But in general, the answers and the questions, I like that they said that, because sometimes you can't find the right answer without knowing how to ask the right question. So the answers and questions that you're looking for are already there, and they're just kind of waiting for you to put in an ear and listen. But you have to be quiet enough to hear. Lastly, we're going to talk about soul family, something I think is important for all of this, because all of these things are nice, But again, it seems also like you're being called to do it with other people and not by yourself. It is time to call in your soul family and support team. People who get you at a soul level. People who are the same kind of weird as you. People who are your chosen family. They are coming and they are looking for you. If you haven't found them yet, then this is a sign that they are close by. But in order for them to find you and to recognize you when they do find you, it's very important that you stop dimming your light and truly let yourself be seen. If you have already found them, then you are perhaps being called to let them support you and perhaps also assemble a wider support team. Your support team can consist of all types of people, such as a therapist, coach, mentor, or healer. Just tune into what kind of support you need now. Your work, your light action, call in your support team now. Stop dimming your light and let yourself truly be seen is the part I want to expand on there. I feel like it kind of has to do with a lot of this. So in general, you need to tune into the portal of your heart so you can understand what it is that you're supposed to be moving forward and creating for the sake of everything. You're supposed to be creating some aspect of this new world everyone's going to share, but what is that? You got to tune in to ask yourself, and you have to listen in silence. You have to listen closely. And while you're doing that, it seems like you're also being asked to make sure you're calling in your support team, calling in the people who are going to be able to help you with this, because you're not supposed to do it by yourself. You're going to get burnt out, and your mission will be way less impactful than it would be if you had help. While you go about this, go with the flow, trust in the order of operations of things, and tap into your divine feminine self. Your adaptability, the nurturing, kind, soft spirit inside of you. Part of your trip that you're about to go on, I'm pretty sure, is having to do directly with this. I think you're going to meet people while you're traveling. I think that there's going to be a part of you while you're traveling that's going to be so vibrant in a way that it maybe isn't when you're around your day-to-day reality, that it's going to start attracting some of these people. So I think that trip is going to end up being really important moving forward for planting some of those seeds to grow the future that you're looking to have. The new age, the new life, the new reality. But remember, the quickest place to get those answers, the quickest place to understand the guidance of where to go, inside. Always, always, always. I'm not necessarily feeling inclined to expand that to the karma cards, because I feel like that feels like a yep, like I don't have anything more to say on that. I'll leave it up to you, but I feel like you got action steps. I feel like you got an outcome. Like, I feel like this was everything the karma cards could have offered. So I'm feeling great about that. It's always nice when I can get kind of a similarly all-encompassing reading from mixing and matching other stuff. You're welcome. Thank you. That was really fun. And I got to enjoy and indulge in some of the new cards. And next we have our Dear Maud general reading from the cat deck. So let me just shuffle these and then put them aside so we can get to using the right deck as soon as possible. This one's in here. Again, just a general reading here today for our lovely moderator who works so very hard for us. And if you are enjoying the stream, it would be pretty reasonable to consider sending a thank you over to him. His username is @Sinchogi. Red Boy, thank you so much. He does a ton for the stream, and we couldn't do it without him. We could, but it would be a lot more chaotic and maybe not as enjoyable for you in the chat, especially. I could just not look and just pretend the chat isn't going crazy, but I don't have to do that, thankfully, because it's not going crazy, because we have our wonderful mod taking care of things, so you want to give him a little thanks. Again, it wouldn't be unwarranted. How would you like to split these up? I can do deck 1 and deck 2. I can also spread them out, pick a section like I just did for the other people, give you that one with just 1 through 12, 1 through however many. Totally up to you. It's basically if you want to pick, or if you want me to pick, but yeah, let's do 1 and 2. We have 1, we have 2. That's the one I was feeling. I was like, if he doesn't pick this one, we're on the opposite vibe today. Sometimes that happens to me, where I will feel like tingling in one arm and nothing in the other one. Like I can feel electrically, this is the one, this is the one. And then they're like, 1. And then I'm just like, well, I guess they don't want the real honesty today. I guess they don't want the smoke of the tarot. Anyway, let me reshuffle these really quick, because now I feel biased. One, two. One more time. Actually, we're gonna split, and you're gonna pick however many cards you feel inclined to from both of these decks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for deck number 1. You're so welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Red Boy. Okay. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those of you on YouTube, I see you're commenting numbers for the cards. If you would like a reading, the submissions are still currently open. I probably will close them after the next 1 or 2 readings. So if you want to get one for today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then now is the time. Okay. I don't know what these mean. They're pretty interesting. I think there's a sword. Yep, the 3 of Swords. In reverse. Okay, we have 2 cards in reverse. At first I was like, oh my. Whoa. But actually, I know this card, not that one, this one, the cat with the hearts, I know that one's actually better in reverse than it is upright. And I think this one might be less bad in reverse as well, but I'm not sure. I think it might be like a little less scary. So here's the Three of Swords in reverse. Upside down, this card portends forgiveness, healing, and even a little optimism. The fluffy, heart-shaped toy is surprisingly resilient. The pain isn't absent, and it hasn't been avoided, but feelings have been spared, and reconciliation is on the horizon. So that's good. Looks like there's going to be healing of something. Something that has long-standingly caused pain. And we'll go to the Tower in reverse. I'm going to have you pick one more card after this, just to kind of be like, okay, is that it? Are you sure? Those were some messages. Wow. Come on. Sorry, I'm awful with Roman numerals. Okay. You may be trying to avoid changes that are inevitable. There's no way to do this, but fear not. Tearing down and rebuilding is necessary, and things will work out in the end. You will land on your feet. Something's happening here. Something is going to change. Something is going to break down. But in order for it to be rebuilt better the next time. So it seems like it's good. And that ultimately, even with the changes and certain aspects of it kind of falling away, there will be an aspect of healing to some of those damages that, you know, causes it to feel like it almost never happened. Very interesting. I'm gonna pick one more. I'm gonna pick this one this time, and we're gonna say anything else? Anything else you would like to say for us right now? Let me shuffle. Okay. Interesting. I don't know how many of those are supposed to come in, but I just picked all three of them. I'm gonna go with justice in reverse. The Three of Bowls. The Three of Bowls. The Three of Bowls. That's not a suit. Cups. That's more like it. Someone's been hitting the water bowl a tad hard. Flirtation or indulgence has crossed the line, and now everyone is in a tizzy, and relationships are falling out because of bad communication and even worse, understanding. Take a moment to reassess and reconnect. And then justice in reverse says, this is a reminder that karma applies to you too. You will lie in the bed that you make, so plan your catnip accordingly. Plan your catnip. I've never heard anyone say that. I don't know what all that means for you, but keep it in mind. Seems like a slight word of caution, but with the sentiment that all will work out in the end as long as you act accordingly. Sounds pretty good. stay responsible, I guess. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to Slam Duncan. Alright, this one is a public question, and I'm prefacing with that because it is, you know, a little intimate of information, so just stating this has been given permission to be public. It has been over 10 years since my parents divorced, and in that time, my mother remarried, and my father has dated multiple women. Currently, my dad is dating no one, and my mom and stepdad have been married for 8 years. I actually haven't gotten over this and tried multiple times to get them back together. Should I be doing this, or should I just try to accept this new life? Well, that's a tough one, I'm sure, to be going through and to be feeling the emotional investment of on behalf of people that you clearly can't control, right? You can't control your parents, you can't control who they choose to love or be with. Before I pull any cards, I'm gonna give you, like I always do, my personal opinion. I think, yeah, maybe it's time, after 10 years and things are still transitioning away versus back together, it's time to accept and start adapting to the new reality. Your mom has been remarried for 8 years. I mean, she was only really single for 2, or I guess like figuring things out for 2 years, and then she found someone else that makes her super happy. They have to make her super happy, or else she wouldn't have married them and stayed for 8 years. So I feel like there's almost an aspect of kind of almost like refusing to acknowledge the current situation, especially for your mom. That's almost a bit insulting on her behalf, or on your behalf towards her. She seems like she has moved on. She's happy with her decision, and for better or for worse, you know, it was the right call for both of them, not just your mom. And so I just feel like if you're trying to, you know, keep something intact that has been by both people long dismissed, it's definitely putting a pressure on something that is like not really existent anymore. And I'm sure it causes strain for them because they're not quite sure how to handle that, because I'm sure they love you so much and they appreciate and respect the reasoning behind you doing that. But I'm sure it hurts to not feel like on your mom's behalf her current relationship is good enough for you, you know, to accept that she's happy now and moved on. This happens a lot with children of divorce, where they kind of always feel like the right way was supposed to be those two people together. But when we remove ourselves and we start to remember that our parents are just people, right? They're just humans, the same as us. Well, I'm sure you've probably experienced yourself or watched someone close to you experience a breakup with someone that they really thought they were going to be together forever with. And yet, after the breakup, they realize, no, it was definitely for the best. I'm much better off moving in a different direction with myself. And I couldn't see it at the time, but now I do. Right? And I feel like it's so hard not to want to honor that as a witness, as a bystander, in your position. Because you, of course, were not as actively involved in the divorce as they were. And I'm sure you don't know all of the reasons behind it. So I'm going to pull you some cards now, because I'm just going to keep rambling, I'm sure. But my point being, there's an aspect of clinging to this that I think you might be one of the only people hanging on to at this point in time. And I want to ask you maybe to reflect on why you would rather focus on that and try and put energy towards that instead of acknowledging your mom's new relationship, the fact that she's happy, acknowledging the fact that regardless of anything having to do with your dad, I don't know if he's happy or not. I'm just going off of also what I would hope the situation would be. Your mom continuing to stay married to someone after remarrying. She's happy. She's feeling good in her life now. And isn't that what matters? Isn't that what's important? And I don't think she would have been able to do that if she stayed together with your dad. So therefore, doesn't that mean it was the best option for both people, even if it hurt, even if it was hard? One party walked away and felt like they could find something better, something more what they're looking for. Apparently they had a disagreement about how they were going to raise me, and also my dad was drunk when this argument took place. I see. Well, again, when we remove ourselves from the role of the child and we just kind of see things as two people, two humans that are maybe, not related to us. Let's just pretend we're just looking at the situation from above. We're not involved. We're not related. We're just looking at all the variables, trying not to emotionally attach to any of them. If you're raising a child with someone, anyone, you yourself, and you don't agree with how to raise that child, well, that's a pretty important thing when you're parenting. And enough fighting about that is going to start to feel like it's doing more damage than it would if you just went and found someone a little more in line with the way that you would like to be parenting, to be raising a child. Someone who's going to support those actions a little differently, a little better. So yeah, I just feel like, again, trying to put yourself in the position of imagining you experiencing some of these hardships in place of your parents, and recognizing that in the best version of reality, you would get enough grace and, compassion offered towards yourself, where you would be able to, if things were bad enough, say, it's okay for me to walk away now. It's okay for me to give up on this because I'm not getting what I need. And I can't keep getting, a lack of support for myself while I'm being expected to do that for someone else. No one can obtain a successful system of a lifestyle, especially being a parent, with that kind of reciprocity. It doesn't work. So the grace that I feel like you would want to offer to yourself if you were in a bad situation like that, the grace of saying it's okay to walk away, is the same I would hope you're able to afford to people like your mom and your dad. When you start to maybe get those prickly feelings of man, how could they give up? How could they do that? Why did they have to give up, you know? I'm sure there's a part of you that really wishes they would have just stuck it out, kept fighting for it. But again, you don't know all the full stories of things, and I'm sure there were plenty of moments where they tried everything they knew how to do. They had, only a certain amount of tools, I like to call them, in their toolbox to navigate these issues, communicate through them. And safety wise, maybe the best thing was to separate. Again, there's parts of this decision process that kind of come to their own conclusions just by the nature of the actions involved, the opinions of both parties. Sometimes it just kind of ends up being the best option and the only option. So, reciprocity added to the R list. Word. Noted. Yeah, so I'm going to... Let's do one of these. Actually, let's get into the vortex. And let's go ahead and shuffle these. I have the power to direct my own thoughts. Your thoughts do create the reality that you live. And one of the most exciting things about beginning the process of deliberately focused thought is that the law of attraction will bring you evidence of your improved thought immediately. And while old patterns may be hard to break, and you may slip back into old patterns from time to time, evidence of your efforts will be undeniable to you. And before long, with much less effort than you spend trying to dodge negative conversations or train another into better behavior, all of your relationships will improve. So again, part of this situation can immediately be made better by you just deciding to think differently about it as a whole. I think that's really important to remember at all times. And the way that you originally asked the question felt like you already kind of knew the answer, but there's a part of you that of course wants to be validated in your fears, and you want to be validated in maybe some of the pain that you've been feeling since 11 when your parents split. But that isn't necessarily how the universe works. It's not always super biased towards one thing or another. It's typically biased towards the truth of the matter, the reality of the situation, which is always relative to a certain degree, but the reality here is that you might be able to see things differently simply by choosing to right now. And that means that they were already different to begin with than how you saw them and how you currently see them. And the only thing standing between that being your perception and, the perception you hold now instead is you choosing to cling to a version of the reality, a version of the thoughts, despite opportunities for you to kind of evolve, upgrade to a different version, a newer version, a more updated reality where those things don't quite apply the same anymore. Because it's no longer true in this reality. Does that make sense? So bottom line, the part of you that's like, please get back together, is probably very immediately attached directly to the pain that you felt initially when you were 11 years old. And part of healing that is going to be acknowledging at the age you are now that they're not going to get together again. And that's okay. That's okay. It's really okay, like deeply okay, to the point where it's okay with you too, and you accept it fully, wholeheartedly. But it won't happen until the 11-year-old part of you that was really hurt by that, that's begging for them to get back together still, as if they've just split up, also believes that they don't need to get back together because this was a good decision. This was for the best. Because you can see that they're happier now. You can see that everything worked out okay. That everyone still has love. Maybe not the same way for each other, but in general, it's there. The love is there. There's love for you. There's love for other people around them, and that's all that matters. It's always what will matter. And if anything, it matters very deeply that they chose to abandon their pursuit of trying to make their love work together with the risk of destroying it completely, and instead went and expanded that love somewhere else where it was a little bit more resonant, a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, a little more nurtured in its environment and able to grow in those ways. Yeah. It did sound like a giant robotic cow, for sure. I heard that too. I just want to say thanks for being vulnerable here and letting us get such an intimate insight into parts of your life, parts of your experience. I saw a couple people say aspects of this are very relatable to them. And I feel like something that we forget a lot, which the cards from this deck, especially letting your soul tribe in, really resonates with me right now. Because I think something that I'm learning and that I'm growing into the understanding and belief of is that there's very rarely a completely unique experience that nobody can at all relate to, and therefore everything is usually worth sharing to some degree or finding solidarity in for the reassurance internally that you're not alone. You're not crazy, you're not weird or broken, damaged, beyond repair, to the point where your life is just doomed, destined for failures upon failures. And instead you start to recognize, oh, there's aspects of this that are just part of being a human, part of life and experiencing it firsthand. Well, I guess maybe it's not so bad then if it's not just me it's happening to. I guess maybe I can accept a little easier that I'm gonna have to go through that if I know other people have and they've come out better for it. I think I could come out better for it too. Better from it, moreover. You know what I mean? But it takes vulnerability and sharing those things in the first place for that connection to happen. So thank you for being brave enough to be one of the first drops in the ripple. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Okay. We have one more reading in the queue. If anyone else would like a reading today, I'll leave it open for one more person. And after this reading, if no one has, purchased anything, we'll go ahead and close the queue and start to transition the stream towards non-tarot themed ASMR to soothe you off to sleep and or into the rest of your evening to relax. We have Aurelians Aurelians. This is coming from the Rose Pocket Oracle. That is the deck that has been requested. And the text is public, so I'm going to go ahead and read it for us. And it says, I'm in a period of a lot of potential, but I haven't taken action. My question is, how can I take the steps towards where I need to go? Where being my best life, specifically including romance. So again, in a period of a lot of potential but have not taken any action, Micah, we can get you on the list. In the future, if you want to donate, go ahead and type in exclamation point tip or exclamation point donate, and that is how it works a little more directly. I'm gonna pull a couple cards from here for you. Okay. I'm gonna have you actually pick these between 1 and 2. If you're here, Aurelians. Whoa. Aurelians. Whoa. 1, 2, 1, 2. 2. Okay. And splitting it one more time. To give you 2 separate decks, you can pick as many cards as you feel connected to out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 cards. 7, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from this deck. Three and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. And I'll stay. So there's multiple cards here. Something has just happened to you. I feel like you're getting over something that has already taken place in this department. All of these cards are very similar. There's differences, but there's a lot of similarity. I'm going to start here. I'm just going to show you all the cards and then we'll go deeper into them. After the rain. Livia, thank you so much. After the rain, silver lining, hope, it's over, mercy. Okay, clearly this is like, you're finally out of the storm after the rain. Okay, then we have sacred waters, replenishment, health, self-care. Okay, so again, very interesting. You're after the rain into the sacred waters. You've just come out of a really tumultuous, hard time, and now it's the time to replenish. Start caring a lot about your health, a lot about your self-care. We have the Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion. Again, I think there's an aspect here of healing something that was damaged in a relationship or a dynamic. These cards are very interesting in combination. We have the grandmothers with the child within. So we have both remembering your roots and perspective, coupled with the inner mother innocence, tenderness. Tori, or Torby, excuse me, thank you for the 100 bits. So, child within, I feel like, is the one who's really feeling the effects of the storm we just went through. Okay, I feel like I'm not even gonna read the reading of these. I'm just gonna go off of what I'm feeling. The child within is definitely, like I said, feeling the storm, feeling the damage that was just done. It's also feeling like it might be safe to come out now, but it's scared. And, there's a hesitancy there. And that's where this is going to be really important for establishing the trust of that inner child to say, hey, it's okay to come out now. It's safe here. I'm going to make sure of it. and I'm going to show you that it's safe. And then I'm going to make sure of it, because I'm going to continue to prioritize replenishing when you're feeling down, when you're feeling low, keeping us healthy and cared for, first and foremost here in ourselves, right? There's going to be a lot of trust established with this scared inner baby, tender innocence, after you have consistently provided an environment that is safe, healing, replenishing, nurturing, healthy. Okay, health doesn't always just have to do with physical health. It's also mental health, prioritizing healthy habits of thinking, of communicating, self-care. Self-care is consistency, continuing to do it, even when it's difficult. Returning to each other with compassion after the storm has finished. It's obviously part of the silver lining, right? Is the lessons that you learned, so that you can be able to even more deeply hold the empathy for other people. You've walked through a similar experience. You've seen what the eye of the storm looks like, and now you're able to even more softly relate to people and resonate with them. And in doing so, you're obviously going to be tapping into something a little more ancestral, a little more connected towards the greater cyclical lineage of all who came before and all who are coming next. Lessons learned for the sake of it becoming wisdom to share in the perspective of all of the wise people who have come before you, who have walked through these same storms, learned these same lessons. Perhaps there is a part of your specific ancestry that provides you with some of these self-care rituals, some of these replenishing actions. This could be something that goes hand in hand with each other. I feel like this pool, it might as well be here, right? This could be inside of this. There is an aspect of wisdom of replenishing yourself after something like this happens, that there's already like great knowledge in your lineage of. There's definitely something already connected to you, already tied to you, that you're being really prompted and called to reconnect with for the sake of healing, coming back to a healthy place, feeling stronger. Really interesting. I like that this child within also has an inner mother, because again, while you are both your inner child but also your adult self, you're gonna have to kind of play both roles of being able to hold space for those authentic feelings of the innocent child that was scared, that was hurt, that was damaged, and also the responsible, wise adult that has enough information and, practice of applying that information that they can confidently say, yes, it's okay, yes, you're safe, you can trust me, you can believe me. You're gonna have to be both. You're gonna have to be wise and strong and grounded in a belief and a knowing that's so deeply true to you that it creates just that inner confidence. So much so that you can also at the same time be scared, vulnerable, nervous about what's to come and how it might hurt you, and do it anyway, holding the hand of your adult self and believing and trusting that they're gonna guide you and you're gonna come out on the other side just fine. And if anything, with maybe even a smile on your face, maybe even, you know, like a balloon, metaphorically, a little lollipop. You got a fun adventure, you got to go on a journey, you know. I'm gonna go ahead and have you pull one more card from this deck, because you guys seem to be working really well together. I just would like, I don't know, a final word. So I'm gonna give you between deck 1 and 2 to pick from again. Whenever you feel ready, whenever you're feeling like one has been speaking. Number 1. I'm gonna split this just one more time. And this time I'm only gonna have you pick one of these decks. Last time we did both. We're just gonna do one this time. Number 2. And out of this, as many as you feel called to again, we're looking for just kind of a final word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, come on. 9 and 10. As many as you feel called to. Two, 5, and 8. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. All right. We have codes of the seeds. So again, confirmation. It's already within you. Like literally, look. We zoom in even farther under the water. There you are. This is another extension of this. Everything is in here. It's been there all along. You just have to listen and trust. Okay, and we have, we have the thorn, boundaries, clear communication. This is kind of what I was looking for. Just a very direct welcome in. Thank you for subscribing. Just a very direct, clear message. Hey, this is part of what you need to work on. This is how you're going to avoid some of the future storms. Boundaries, clear communication. This is really, really important right now. Really important. And look, now we have our balance. We had the mother rose. We had this inner child with an inner mother, the grandmothers. We have all this feminine energy. But there is also, the brothers of the rose with the sacred masculine, the protection, the support. This is, again, in my opinion, part of this. Showing up now instead of only as the child within you coming out of the storm, as also the protective brother, the protective sacred masculine that can support you, that can hold you, right? You're not only this child, you are also this grown, strong, divine masculine. Even if you're a lady, there's just an aspect of this energy that's very on par with a rock for someone in support, consistently available for protection, for, a shoulder to lean on, a shoulder to cry on. You are that for your inner child. That is what this expression looks like. And it's gonna come from boundaries and clear communication. That's part of what you already know how to do. You've already done it. Your ancestors have learned how to do it, how to speak up for themselves. It's a form of replenishing and caring for yourself, making sure your voice is not forgotten in the discussion, making sure you're being heard. Thank you for the reading. That was beautiful. I don't have much else to say. Just thank you. All right, we have Micah de Dios, who has a deck of choice for a general reading. And let's see. General reading, no question attached. What do I feel inclined to use for that? Honestly, I might go back here to the fairies, and I'm also gonna go here to the work your light. I'm gonna use the same combo I did in the first reading. And Marcus, Micah, would you like to pick the cards or would you like me to pick them? Want me to close things? You can leave it open for now. I'm feeling all right. You pick them unless it's number 4. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Okay. Just getting the cards picked for you. Cherie Hinds. Let's get you on the list. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, my friend. I have picked 4 cards for you. And yeah, wow. Very interesting stuff here. Not quite sure at all what to make of a few of these, so I'm gonna get the reference books out. I will tell you all the cards, and then we'll read them together. We've got transformation as the first card. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. We have answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? What is your soul calling you to do? In the fairy cards, we have a bad company. Bad company. And we also have time to tinker. Time to tinker. James, let's go ahead and get you on the list. Thank you for the super chat. Again, donations are preferred directly because YouTube does take a cut, but we will get you on the list nonetheless. I have a feeling these two are very related in what they're trying to say. Things are changing, deep healing is being had, which means it's time to tinker around with your reality a bit. The bad company is where I'm like, what is that all about? So we're gonna see. I opened right up to answering the call immediately, so we're gonna read that one first. What is your soul calling you to do? Your guidance is divinely guided. You are being called to answer the call of your soul. It might be scary. It might not make sense. But if you trust your soul's yearnings, you will live a life beyond what your mind could possibly imagine. Answering your soul's calling is not a one-time thing, but rather a lifelong dance. And deep down, you already know what you long for, what your soul yearns for. Whatever you are called to do, that is your calling. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for permission. Just say yes. Most people are waiting for a step-by-step plan before they can take that first step. But intuition doesn't work like that. It takes faith and courage to answer the calls of your soul. And that's why most people don't do it. But you are not most people. You are in exactly the right place to answer your calling now. You don't need to know the whole plan. You don't need to know exactly where it's leading. You just need to take the next step. No one has ever had the complete perfect plan. There is no end destination. There is no right or wrong way to do it, and you do not need permission from anyone else. Sometimes the more resistance we have around answering a soul calling, the more important it is to our soul's growth. Your work, your light inquiry is, what is your soul calling you to do? And it says here, you'll know. You'll know. So, what is your soul calling you to do? I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna go to bad company. Bad company. 75. Alright, when this card is drawn, you might be dealing with some negative energy. If you're feeling tired or low, or you're just in a bad mood, do something nice for yourself to replenish the good vibes and get back to a feeling of solid. Get back to a place of feeling solid. Bid these little fairies goodbye and say some positive affirmations to yourself or write them down. Be easy on yourself. Be easy on yourself. Time to tinker. Tinkerbell might just be the most popular fairy of all time, thanks to the Disney animated classic. She is named after the sound that she makes, like tinkering bells, and after her role of fixing pots and kettles. Adored for her feisty personality, Tinkerbell is emotional and can act childish at times, drawn by the seat of her whims. She is Peter Pan's companion on his adventures in Neverland. When this card is drawn, it is time to lean into innocence and take a child's frame of mind. Embrace the idea that you can do or be anything. You can do or be anything. What is your soul calling you to do? What is your soul calling you to be? Embrace the idea that you can do or be anything because you have all the time in the world. Because it's true. Like the children in Neverland, there are parts of us that remain young forever. What impossible things will you believe in today? What impossible things will you believe in today? Believe it is possible because it is. Lastly, we have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Things are changing at a cellular level. You are not who you were a year ago or who you will soon be. You are in between, emerging, half risen, half falling, doing the work. You are transforming. You will look back at this time with awe. So much is happening in your inner world and within yourselves. It's time to release old ways of being that have kept you in fight, flight, freeze mode. To choose a new way of being where trauma is not the driving force. Old childhood patterns are rising up to be healed, and as you allow yourself to observe them and feel them without attachment, well, they start to loosen their grip and fall away. You are being called to find new ways to self-soothe. Saturn and the Black Madonna and the African goddess Ocean influence this card. Saturn represents destruction and transformation. The Black Madonna represents the underground and all that has been cast aside. And Ocean represents the tender love of the original mother. A re-threading is happening. Healing at the deepest levels. While you are in this phase, don't put yourself under pressure to perform. You may need to review your relationship with your body, perhaps even shifting your diet or exercise regime, or getting energetic healing support. You may also need to consider some kind of emotional support as issues from your childhood may come up to be healed. You are deeply loved. Lots going on, but again, there is this sense in a lot of these readings of reclaiming part of this aspect of yourself that as a child was damaged and therefore taught it wasn't allowed to exist. There was no space for it in this world. Except there is. And not only is there space for it, there's a hole. And that's where it's supposed to be, but it's missing. Because you're scared to present it to the universe, to everyone else in the universe. Because you're scared in general. Because you're still partially that hurt little child that had very valid reason to be scared. And, hasn't quite learned that now there might not be so much to be afraid of. And there's different versions of what's possible. But part of transforming right now for you is destroying those old perceptions. Some of this bad company. And finding new ways to reconnect with this inner child innocence. Ouch. I love to watch you work the flow. Thank you. I'm sorry that I've been a little neglectful of the chat. I'm just kind of in my vibe right now. It feels good. I feel very calm. Sometimes when I do these readings, I feel like I can get emotionally kind of swept into everything that they're talking about, but I feel really good right now in terms of just like my emotional involvement. And I feel good. I feel very grounded. in what I'm doing, and it feels nice. I'm gonna open my soda. Hopefully we get a nice little carbonation. I've drank this much in 2.5 hours. I really could drink soda so slow. But thank you for the reading, Micah. I feel like a lot of these are really overlapping with each other. A lot of the readings are giving a lot of the very same like concepts in different ways, different applications for different people, but overall very similar. Hinds. Looks like you're gonna do general reading. Do we have a specific deck in mind? I love the little VV emote. It's so cute. One second. Is setting right now, so I thought I could maybe try and get some of the remainder of the natural light in here. James from YouTube, it looks like we are still waiting on your question. I don't want to have your $20 go in vain. They left. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see if James comes back ever in the future. Alright. Hinds, deck of choice, general reading. Let's get into it. I'm excited. I'm going to go ahead and put these back in, shuffle them up, and I'm actually going to go back to the deck I was using right before this one, the Rose Pocket Oracle, as well as the White Sage. We're going to use both of those little tin decks. John, I'm so sorry to hear that. That obviously is a lot less simple than any answer I could probably give in 2 seconds without knowing you or anything about your story. But I would say that my best piece of advice is to, as I've kind of said during the stream today, continue to try your best when you have enough energy to take the time, take the moment within yourself to kind of try and remove some of those emotional biases, remove some of those emotional scars that are like reopened, re-triggered every time you engage with the thoughts about those memories. And of course taking it every day. Every day is going to be a little different, but just trying to come to a more neutral place for the sake of, at the very least, seeing all of the different sides of the situation, different perspectives, and in a way that, you know, you try and put yourself into each of those different perspective points, positions, as yourself, and you say, instead of like, how could they do that? I could never do that. Something more along the lines of, if I were to do that, even knowing I probably would never, what would it take? How would I need to be feeling? What would I need to be doing inside of myself? And then, you know, recognizing, oh my gosh, if that were really my reality, it seems like it makes perfect sense why I would act that way, or why I would do those things, you know, which instead of making you angry, usually in my experience causes this feeling of like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that that's not my version of reality. I'm so glad that that's not how I feel inside of myself, and that's exactly why I don't act that way, or I can't even imagine doing those things. It's because I don't feel like that to begin with. I don't think like that to begin with. And that makes me really grateful to be who I am and to be living my life, you know? Definitely a big perspective shift that can sometimes kind of like soften the spikes in the gap between your perspective and the other person that hurt you. It's like thinking about being bullied and like, that really hurts. But it hurts a little bit less when you realize in order to be a bully, you typically have to really not be happy. You have to really like have some deep-seated insecurities or trauma wounds that cause you to feel it's necessary to take those out on other people around you, even and especially when they don't deserve it. And recognizing that you can remove yourself from the bully, but the bully is going to have a lot harder of a time removing themselves from themselves, all of those things they carry that cause them to act like that. Oof. Suddenly, this seems like maybe a little more desirable of a position to be in, the bullied versus the bully, because the work that it's going to take to not be that anymore, it's not going to be easy. A lot easier to just remove yourself, you know, from the bully. So hopefully that makes sense, what I'm saying, and like putting into perspective what it takes for people to really get to those points of being a human and acting those way towards other people usually could, I don't want to say should, could cause you to come to the understanding, oh, I'm actually really grateful that I don't have to go through that. I'm actually really grateful that my pain has caused me to grow my empathy instead of shrink it. I'm really grateful that I choose to sit with my feelings and heal them, even though that takes time and effort and it's been frustrating, instead of letting them continue to grow and bubble within me to the point where I end up like that. I don't want to be like that. I would rather be like this. Hopefully that makes sense. Hinds, welcome in. Happy tier 1 sub. Alright. I don't know where I even like started saying that from, but oh yeah, someone asked me a question. I was like, why did I get into that? If you couldn't already tell, a lot of what I'm talking about is coming from personal experience. I may be only 26 for a little over a month. My birthday is next month, you guys. What the heck? I thought we just did that. I feel like I just turned 26 and now I'm about to be 27. But, you know, in retrospect, that's still a decent amount of time to experience a lot of different things and think retrospectively about a lot of the things that then happened. And I'll be the first to say, all of this, all of it, every single thing we've discussed today is 100% easier to understand and talk and think about in concept than it is to put into action and practice in a day-to-day, situational sense. 100% easier in concept and in theory versus in application. It's very difficult when you are feeling triggered, when you are feeling, emotionally vulnerable, to think about all these things, to be your wise version of yourself, and then act accordingly in the moment. And that's where you need to be really patient, graceful, kind with yourself, and recognize what one of the readings before said, I can't remember which one, something along the lines of rediscovering the self by going within is not something that happens just once. It's a continuous dance. I loved that because it's so true. So often we are taught and or I would say moreover sold this idea that you're supposed to get to a certain point of being healed where you're done. It stops. You figured it out. Everything you had going on from your childhood, you figured it all out. Every little piece of it. And you're done now. And you get to just be an awesome, perfectly well-rounded person that always makes the best decision from the wisest point of view because they know all of their triggers, all of their traumas, any little thing that might set them off or put them over the edge, cause them to react in a way that they wouldn't want to. Not you. You're done. You're perfect. Have you ever actually met someone that's like that? That also feels like they think that way about themselves? Because every person I've ever met that I view as able to meet every situation they face with their best self is the same person I see continuously admitting, oh, I'm not done working on myself. Oh, I'm not perfect. Oh, I don't know if I'll ever be perfect. They're the same people to admit every single flaw that they have openly, confidently, sure, but they're still admitting of it instead of being like, yep, I'm done. I did all the work and I'm perfect now. See it for yourself. Look at my wonderful life and my wonderful actions. I usually get really skeptical of people that say stuff like that. 'Cause I'm kind of like, that's nice. I'll just wait for the next moment when everything comes toppling down and you have to keep rebuilding it. Because to claim everything is done when it's in fact always a work of progress is a little silly. But, you know, that's just my opinion. Anyway, with all that being said, Hinds, let's go ahead and do your reading. We can close them for now. I'll go ahead and call it for today since James left us. And I'm gonna get the white sage and the rose oracle. Thank you, Gabriel. Doing a general reading, and before I do anything, Hinds, would you like to pick the cards, or would you like me to choose them for you? You choose. Sounds good. Hinds, we are looking for whatever wants to be known, whatever wants to be told, highlighted for us, whatever feels really important right now. Please let it be known to us. Oh, okay. You coming out? Go on. Come on out. That's fine. Interesting. Alright. Go ahead and split these. Two. Oh, okay, you can come out too. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 and 9. Okay. Come over here. Dark. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 1. 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. And 3. Creations realized my time's over. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Alrighty, Hinds. I have picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. They kind of picked themselves at a certain point. Also, readings are closed for today. Closed. So, if you were thinking of getting one, don't do it right now. The readings are closed. I'll have to push you to next week. Just save it. Save it for next week. Alright. The first card that kind of like fell out on its own was the Ace of Swords. I love the pink ribbon. So pretty. And you also got the Ace of Cups with another pink ribbon. So we've got 2 aces here. Aces usually signify some sort of new beginning, a refresh, fresh start. We have 2 pentacles. We have the King of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. All of these cards are upright. The other deck, we have the Great Mother, Surrender to the Mystery, Trust. And then we have the Bloom, Creations Realized, Right Time, Celebrate.
Hi, Kiwi. Good morning, sweetie.
We're going to go to the Ace of Swords and Ace of Cups first. The Ace of Cups says, new love sparks fly. As with all aces, the Ace of Cups indicates a new beginning. It is a positive omen with regards to love and affection. You have finally met your match. This latte is a reminder of the heart-pounding sweetness of an espresso blended with care. Keep your heart open to a new emotional connection. We have the Ace of Swords to follow it up with. And this card states, a new mental clarity or insight. The Ace of Swords can signify a breakthrough moment. Although it isn't always easy, seek clarity to get to the heart of the matter. Short and sweet. We're gonna transition to the Rose, and we're gonna go to Creations Realized. Oh, just kidding. Creations Realized. I'm like, where is that card? It's not in here. It's because that's not what the card is called. It's called the Great Mother and the Bloom. We're going to do the Great Mother first. 126. Surrender to the mystery. Trust. The Great Mother ushered you in when you took your first breath, and she will be there when you draw your last. She knows how challenging life on earth can be. That at times, being human can be painful, lonely, and confusing. That the polarity and separation can be difficult when your soul remembers the oneness of Source. But at the same time, it can be incredibly glorious and sweet. We often see things as either good or bad. When things go well, we make it mean that everything's okay, and when things don't work out, then perhaps we've done something wrong or have something to fix. We've forgotten that life on Earth isn't like that. Polarity is at the core of the Earth experience, and it's through the polar extremes that we grow the most. We're not meant to avoid the night, the shadow, the winter. This life is but a single breath in the inextinguishable existence of your experience as a soul. Hand over your worries, hurt, sorrow, fears, and doubts to the Great Mother. Lay them on her altar. Return to the sureness of the soul. Fall fully into her arms. Surrender to the mystery woven through it all. Remember that while these extremes are difficult, they can also be magnificent. That unrestrained joy is closer to grief than we think, and perhaps the more wildly the pendulum of your life swings, the more you can say, I have truly lived. That one almost made me cry. That was so beautiful. Rose transmission. I am ready to embrace the extremes of my life. I lay all that I'm carrying onto the altar and fall into the Great Mother's arms. Going to the bloom on page 96. Creations realized, right time, celebrate. This card is all about reaping the reward for what you've created. Dreams manifested into matter. It's a confirmation that you're currently in the bloom phase of your cycle of growth, or that you're about to be. The bloom is when we're at our fullest. The sun is shining, things are bountiful, and we're at our most expansive. The deep roots of our dreams have been realized. We're blooming. We've made it to where we've always longed to be. We're likely visible and out in the world. Life is often adventurous, energetic, positive, and good. This card comes with a message to embrace and enjoy this moment. Celebrate what you have created. Enjoy what has come to you. Revel in it. Bask in the beauty. Drink in the nectar and be nourished by the sweet scent of what is now in the physical. Enjoy the harvest. Stop and smell the roses of your life. Life is cyclical, and the bloom won't be at its fullest forever. Your work, though, your work through the seasons of your life has brought you to this point. Don't take the bloom for granted. Enjoy it while it's here. But don't hold on to it for too long either. Let it be what it is in its fullest, and when the time comes to return the petals to the earth, and you'll know when that is, do that too. Rose transmission. I let the blooming happen. I resist the urge to hold back. I celebrate all that I've created and enjoy my moment of blooming completely and fully. The last cards, the Three of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. are as stated. 3 of Pentacles, teamwork, exploration. Communication is key and indicates both active listening and, not indicates. Communication is key and includes both active listening and adding your 2 cents worth. Work together for greater productivity. The King of Pentacles is a cool old uncle. Now retired, he is reaping the benefits of a financially stable life. Although he emits masculine energy, he's not afraid to wear a purple ribbon with a pentacle on his 3rd eye center. So, let's just say it looks like you're coming into a new time of your life. There's 2 new beginnings here. One just seems like it's in general, but the other seems like it might be connected specifically to something romantic. On top of that, you're being asked to lay down and surrender to the Great Mother. Trust in the path that's unfolding, even if you can't quite see where it's going to take you. And recognize that there's a part of your reality right now that is everything you've ever wanted it to be. And it seems like it's a big part of your reality. It's exactly what you want it to be. So much so that this is the start of your peak, your fullest bloom. And while this is happening, you get to just kind of enjoy and expand yourself. And you get to work in cooperation, work in tandem with everyone around you too, which is probably part of the surrendering, is figuring out how all of this transitions to this, to a new person that you're going to be cooperating with for the foreseeable future. These cards in my mind are connected in some way. Co-creation, with the signification of someone new entering your life. Yeah, I would think those are related a little bit. And that is all for the readings for today. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and hanging out with me. This has been so relaxing. Just so much fun. I really enjoy this so much. Miguel, thank you for your sus face super chat. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be something that was going towards the readings or not, but we are done with those today. Hinds, that was not necessary, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and congrats to all 10 of the Twitch viewers that are now ad-free. Should be nice. I am cool, thank you. I am I'm gonna take a couple minutes to just relax, ramble a little bit, and then I will start closing us out. Let me just get myself nice and situated first, get all this stuff put away, and say a proper goodbye just in case we're not going to see each other for a few days. Red Boy, another 10 gifted subs, or maybe it was 5, I can't remember how many earlier, but I think it was 10. Thank you so much. Chat is bribing you to stay. Well, they don't have to. I will be here for a little bit longer. But they shouldn't bribe me too hard, because it's gonna result in me sticking around instead of going to film a new video. I think that would be just as beneficial. Proxima, what the heck, you guys? I love this. Thank you. You guys saving it all for the end is awesome. I love how that feels. It's really fun to have just like a barrage all at once. It feels very communal when it's like that. It feels very connected, and I appreciate it. I'm partially rambling after this. Oh wow, that's awesome, Hinds. Yeah, I love doing general readings, especially when I'm feeling I'm really like open and listening, because they can reveal so much with absolutely no prompt, and that's pretty cool. It's pretty, if nothing else, entertaining. Let me know if you can think of anything else you want me to bring. I can't think of anything other than if you have any additional like phone mics that are not the green one I've already used. That's the only thing I can think of for the roleplay. Having like a in-house phone, or I'm not sure, but I was just gonna maybe like use the walkie in the house and pretend to connect it to like a big command box or something. I don't know how that would actually work. We're gonna figure it out. Anything that you think would fit into like a ranger lodge, any like knickknacks or just like things that could be in the background of the video that we could film little close-ups of, that will help pass along the theme of this being a forest ranger's office. I see. Well, if any of them look really like antique, or yeah, just like a little older, it could be worth exploring. Leave them in your car. We can always add the audio later on. But just cool props. Any cool props. I've got my outfit and a lot of stuff figured out. I'm gonna be bringing a first aid kit as part of the roleplay, because we are going to be tending to wounds. But yeah, just gotta find a Bigfoot costume. That's true. So here are my video options. Recently somebody commented and they requested in particular like a tucking you into bed roleplay, which part of me, like, I try to tread really carefully. Hello? What the heck? My audio just off synced. Is it off for you guys? That was weird. Hello? No? Okay. What the hell? There was a little pop. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it's like completely off for me while I'm monitoring it, so I'm just gonna take those off for now. But what was I gonna say? I got distracted by that. Oh yeah. Excuse me. First option, tucking you in. Thanks for making it an even 50. Appreciate that. I try not to let it bother me, but it does. Tucking you in roleplay that is non-romantic and also like mothering, if that makes sense. More of just like a fun, I don't even know how I would make that non-mothering or non-romantic, but those are my two criteria if I'm gonna do that roleplay. A tough line, I know. But it needs to be said and it needs to be done. Maybe we're a sick friend. Yeah, I was thinking something fun like that, where it's like I like maybe try and like feed you some food and you keep dropping it and we keep giggling because I'm like, you're helpless. You're helpless right now. Yeah, definitely like a friend comforting another friend. That kind of vibe. So that's one option. We have role play, or we have singing, humming, echo, reverb, relax. Those are your options. Singing. Singing, okay. But we need the variety. True. Will there be another gaming stream soon? Yes, there will be. Alright, well, before I go, I need your help. Last time I uploaded a video of me that was like just focused on singing, it did really bad. Really bad. It's like to this day one of the worst videos performance-wise I've ever uploaded. I think it's private. I think I unlisted it because I just was like, oh, it's so bad. Clearly it's so bad if no one wants to watch it. So my question is, how can I incorporate singing into the title of the video? How can I accurately portray what the content is about without completely alienating the majority of my audience like I did last time? Because I feel like people immediately were like, I'm not going to be into that, even if they were. And on the streams, everyone's like, we love the singing, it's so great. But I'm always like, that's not what you said when the video came out. So I'm a little like, how can I... The sunset humming video, that did pretty good. There's one where it was like singing in my lap, singing over you. That was one of my earlier uploads. That did okay. So I'm kind of like, how can I balance that as a trigger without, also causing most people to be like, I don't think I'll want to watch just singing. Even if I know they would like it. There's just something that happens where people kind of are like, I don't think that's my interest, even if they would love it. So how can I present it in a formatting that kind of still works for those people that may not know they're gonna like it, and then also still tells the people that are looking for that specific kind of video, hey, this is it. This is the singing video. How can I do both? Is there a specific role play we could think of is there a specific, like, do you think I could combine parts of, like, what we were just talking about, this sick friend in bed humming you to sleep after tucking you in? Do you feel like that could be a good combo? I'm feeling like I just cracked the code. That's what I'm, like, waiting for. I'm kind of like, both ideas feel incomplete. Whoa, maybe they'll be completed if they're combined. Oh, that's the answer. Okay, I've got it. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna say, how are you feeling? And I'll sit next to you on the edge of the bed and I'll say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you're not feeling good. Are you hot? Are you cold? Oh, you're cold. Do you want me to bring you some warm soup, food? Not sure. Do you want me to bring you something warm? Maybe a glass of tea could be nice. That's pretty non-invasive. Don't spoil too much. Okay. Well, basically, I'm gonna greet you. I'm gonna get you some stuff. I'm gonna tuck you in. And then I'm gonna sing you to sleep. How does that sound? That sounds like a pretty great roleplay idea to me. How do you feel about that? Awesome. Perfect. I'm so glad that we had this discussion and we figured that out. And here's what I'm thinking. The train is going by, so I'm sorry. I'm sure it's competing with me a little bit. Hello. Train some more. I'm still really, like, delayed, so I'm not gonna listen to those, but now I forgot what I was gonna say. Hold on. I gotta go back up. Oh. Here's what I'm thinking. I know, me included, people usually prefer the singing with the added reverb on. What if the video starts off normal, no effects, no delay, and then as you get sleepier, the visuals start to get a little more tracy. My voice starts to get a little more echoey. And then you start to fade into darkness because you're falling asleep. The video fades into black. Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think that's really good. I love it. I love it. I've always wanted to do something similar, except the viewer getting, like, drunk or something, where I'm trying to talk to them, and as I'm having the conversation, I get more and more like, whoa. And I'm like, hey, and my fingers are, like, really delayed. You know what I mean? I've always felt like that would be really funny, and I will still do that sometime. Maybe Southern New Year's roleplay, the Southern Twins New Year's roleplay that I've been meaning to do for 2 years now, that I'm for sure gonna execute this year. Maybe that could be fun. A little New Year's a little New Year's tipsiness. I think that would be hilarious and, like, a really perfect addition to that series. The Tipsy Gypsy. I think gypsy is not a politically correct word anymore. I don't know if it ever truly was, so I'm not sure if I want to use that as a title, but I'll workshop it and I'll think about what else could rhyme with tipsy. Like, I could do something like the drunken fairy or something that, like, is like drunk on mead, and then I give you some of the mead or like the flower nectar, and then you get kind of like, ooh, that could be really fun. Having it be a little bit more of like a fantasy-esque roleplay concept, you know? So it's not necessarily so accurately oriented in like a real person getting drunk. It's more of like a, whoa, I'm drunk on flowers, like, whoa. Like you're dreaming, or like, you know, like it's just like a little bit more of like a magical element to things. I think that could be really fun. Romani or Roma is much preferred over Gypsy. Thank you for coming in the chat and saying that. I'm assuming that you know what you're talking about. I'll do a little more research on my own, but I'm gonna partially take your word for it, because I've known for a little while now that Gypsy's not, it's not it. It's not cool. So, thank you for that. Romani or Roma from now on. The tipsy Romani doesn't sound as good. So, we're definitely gonna have to workshop. But yeah, now I have a super solid direction to go for the roleplay. It should take me one try. I know exactly what I want to do, and that's always really reassuring going into the concept, going into the roleplay. I'm like fairly confident this will be an easy 45 minutes to an hour long video. I'm actually so excited now. So I'm gonna calmly transition us to end the stream so I can get everything set up and get filming, and hopefully be done filming the video by 11, maybe midnight. It's currently almost 8:30. If I can get done by midnight with everything, that would be awesome, and I would be perfectly on schedule. And so I'm gonna try and make that happen. I'm gonna try and get done maybe even by like 11, 10:30, and then I can relax, or maybe even like work on something else. I don't know, but this has been yesterday and today. I'm not sure if you guys have felt it, but yesterday and today for me as the streamer have felt like a refresh has happened in the community. I felt like there was new life brought back, and I don't know if it was because we did a lot of interacting yesterday, and just in general there's been kind of this like sense of, I don't want to say, there's just like, there's been a really great sense of connection here recently between everybody, and like, keep it up, guys. It's awesome, and it's making me walk away from these streams so pumped for the next 10 following, which I've got to tell you, I sometimes walk away feeling like that, but I also sometimes walk away like, I'm exhausted. I don't know how I'm gonna do that again tomorrow. At least I can take a break for a little bit, you know? That's how I know I'm burnt out, because it didn't used to feel like that. And there's been a couple months in a row where it felt like that for weeks on end, and it's just because I was burnt out. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's just, I'm burnt out. It happens. That's why I've been taking breaks, because I've been trying not to quit. I've been trying not to completely abandon this, because I never wanted to, and I still don't. So sometimes I need to take breaks to refresh myself and make sure that I can keep showing up. I've told you this before, but I'll say it again. Showing up as I would like to facilitate the space I want to be able to for all of us involved, including myself. If I feel like crap, I can't expect to create a magical, amazing environment for everyone to come and sit in. If anything, the thought of being responsible for doing that while I feel like crap is overwhelming and is enough for me to not show up. So, instead, I'm taking care of myself lately, giving myself all of the time and space I need to feel inspired, to feel creative, because I know that that's just as much of a part of my job as showing up and doing the stuff. And so yeah, I just want to keep reiterating that I promise when I'm taking space away, it's for a reason, and the reason is so I can continue to keep showing up in the future. Because if I don't take the space when I need to or before I need to, it's gonna take itself for me. That's what happens. If you don't take a rest, the rest will take itself for you, and it's usually at the most inconvenient time. I've had that happen before multiple times over, and I don't want to crash and burn like that quite the same ever again. And so unfortunately that means I have to kind of pull back sometimes, even when I don't want to, because I know doing so now by choice will always be better than it having to happen for me on my behalf because I pushed it away too many times. I hit the snooze button one too many times on my needs and my priorities, and they gave me a wake-up call and a not so nice one at that. So thanks for listening. Thank you for participating and kind of helping me, I don't know, bounce ideas, share a little bit of the mental burden of trying to be creating all of this by myself. I love it, don't get me wrong, but there's an aspect of me when I think of new ideas and new videos that's like, yeah, I got the same old 5 little things that I can think of doing right now, but I've already done those a bunch of times. Maybe I could do them upside down, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes my inspiration is a little bit more dry in, you know, the supply is dry, and you guys seem like you've got stuff. So sometimes I come to you for help, and you always give me the best help, the best. So sorry to say it, but I'm gonna keep using you for support and help. And as long as you're able to give it without it impeding on you and your boundaries, then I'll be here to receive it. And if that ever happens where you're like, I can't give any more of myself, that's okay. You can still come here to just receive. Just lurk. There's always a revolving group of people that are able to be active, and then they lose the ability at the same time that someone else comes in and gains it. It will always be a revolving current. We have tons of people popping in. Hey, haven't been here for 2 years. We might not see them again for another 5. That's okay. It's never meant to be something that has to remain permanent. Take it when you need it. Set it down when you don't. Come back to it if you need it again. I'll be here. If I'm actively here or not, that's another question, but my stuff's online. There's tons of videos, tons of live streams. I'll be here. I'll come back eventually. Always will. Okay. I'm gonna go eat. Prepare the scene. This is the scene, I think. And then I'm gonna put you to sleep. I'm excited. Have an amazing rest of your weekend, everyone. if I don't end up seeing you in an additional live stream, I will see you in a similar version of myself to right now in the new video. And after that, I will see you next week for more live streams. Emphasis on the live stream. I have no idea what's going to happen, and neither do you, because it hasn't happened yet, and it won't until we get there. And that's exciting for me enough to show up. Hopefully you show up too, and then we'll make it happen together. Until then, have an amazing rest of your day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the earth, whatever time it may be for you right now. I hope you have so much love in your heart, calmness in your spirit. And yeah, thanks for your time. Thanks for being here. Until next time, ciao for now. And I will see you again soon. Peace.